Welcome to the demonstration. So we are going to create an RDS. We are going to create a read replica and we will see how it performs. So this is the AWS management console. In the services section, first we will go to EC2 to look for the security group that we are going to use. So under EC2, we can see on the left hand side under network and security group, a security group is required, which will give you allow a traffic. So this is the RDS sec. This is the security group that we are going to use for our RDS. And here under this, you can see the different labels. So this is our VPC ID. This is the owner ID. This is our group name. And here you can see the inbound rules. It allows the all traffic from anywhere. Also, another rule is given MySQL or Aurora, which has a TCP. All the port ranges are open. And in outbound rules, we can see all traffic with a destination for all, anywhere. So this is a security group RDSSEC that we are going to use. Now we go under the service and we go for our RDS. So under database service, we go for RDS. Then the RDS dashboard will get opened. So here you can see DB instances 0 by 40. So nothing is running. We need to create a database. So let's create a database. We go under RDS. The next option is create database. We click over that and there are two database creation methods. So you can see a standard create. You set all the configuration options, including the ones for availability, security, backup, and maintenance. This is the standard create we are going to use, and for easy create, it will be considering the best practice configuration. Recommended configurations will be used. So let's go with the standard create. The next is engine options. As I have explained you, there are 6 different engine options. So for demo, we are going for MySQL engine. Let's select this. Now the name appears. In addition, you can see MySQL community. Under that, you can see the version. If you want a different version, you can go for that. But as of now, we are going to select the default one. Okay, now in templates, you can choose. There are 3 different kinds of templates. Those who are going for production, they use the default for high availability and fast and consistent performance. The production environment is used. For development and testing, this instance is intended for the development used outside of a production environment. So next is the dev test, and as for a demonstration, we go with the free tier. Use RDS free tier to develop a new application, test existing application, or gain hands-on experience. So for gaining hands-on experience, we are going with a free tier, and here we select the free tier. Under the settings, you can see DB instance identifier. So type a name for your DB instance. The name must be unique across all DB instance owned by your AWS account. So let's keep it default. Let it be database 1. And here we need credential settings. So you have to give a master username, that is admin. Let it be admin, or you can auto generate a password for your master, or you can name the password. So we can give a password. Let's say we are giving it as password itself. But it's an important for database to name it conventionally. Whenever you have a work to be done, whenever you are going for professional work, you have to need the database to know what it actually does. So here you can see DB instance class. So choose a DB instance class that meets your processing power and memory requirement. As I had explained you in DB planning, what was important was the first point that we have to know the purpose of database. For what purpose are we going? Are we going for standard classes? Are we going for memory optimized or burstable classes? So here we choose tb.2.micro, which holds 1 vCPUs, 1 gigabyte of RAM, and there is no EBS optimized. So it's not Elastic Block Store optimized. So we are going for burstable classes. So we choose here burstable classes as default. And in storage, as per your requirement, if you need auto scaling, if you have allocated more number of storage, then you can maximize it up to 16,384 gigabytes. It is a general purpose SSD. So here you can see it's a provisioned IOPS SSD, magnetic and general purpose. IOPS means it will make your input output in a better and a faster way more than a general purpose. So for default, we are going with general purpose. Maximum threshold is applied, which is 1000. And here it's an availability and durability. If we want to go for a multi-AZ deployment, as I said, under this section, you can select create a data standby instance, and then we could select this, but we are going for a single AZ deployment. Here in connectivity, you can choose your VPC. By default, this is chosen, a subnet is chosen, and yes, we have to give a public access. So we say yes, Amazon EC2 instance and the devices outside the VPC can connect our database. So we have choose this, and this is the VPC security group. At the start, as I had told, that we will be selecting RDS sec. So this is selected and we remove the default one. Let's click over here. So yes, we have selected the existing one. If you want to give an availability zone, we can prefer, and under additional configuration, we see the port number 3306. These are the important thing: endpoint connectivity and ports. So database authentication, there are different options. We go with the password authentication, which authenticates using the database passwords, and there are different methods: the password and IAMA database authentication. It will be using your credentials through AWS IAMA users and roles. Also there is password and Kerberos authentication, which will you choose a directory in which you want to allow the authorized user to authenticate this DB. So Kerberos authentication will be under a directory. Additional configuration settings. So initially, if we don't name any database, then you need to create it. It won't be created automatically. If we name this, let's say demo. So we name our initial database as demo, and DB parameter group is default, option group is default, and we create already enabled, as we have seen the automated backup feature, which is already enabled. And here the retention period is mentioned. Backup window, if we want, we can select, or the go with the default, that is no preference. The monitoring, log exports, this all maintenance, all these things as per our requirement we can go. Monitoring will help you to enhance the monitoring metrics whenever whatever different processes, its threads are used by the CPU. Then the log exports, it will be for Amazon CloudWatch logs, where audit log, error log, general log, slow query log, we can select, and we can have log, we can view the logs. So under maintenance, you can see enable the auto miner version upgrade. As I told you, auto miner version upgrade option is available, and it's already being selected, enable. This is under this. And then the estimated monthly cost, you can review this. You can see what it says, that the Amazon RDS free tier is available for you for 12 months, and then 750 hours for RDS for a single AZ, that is the micro instance. So we are going with a free tier. So let's create the database here. So it's creating the database. So as you can see, the database one is finally being available. The status is showing available. When you go inside database one, you can note different points. The identifier name, which was default, we kept database one. Class we selected db.t2.micro. Our engine was MySQL community and our region is US East 1F. Here there are different tabs where you can note. In connectivity and security, the main endpoint is the endpoint and the port we have to be. So once it is created, the endpoint will be visible and this is how we are going to access this. In networking and security, networking, the availability zone is shown, and VPC, a VPC ID, these are the subnet group that is available. And as we had selected RDS sec with the all traffic and MySQL and Aurora TCP port open, so the public accessibility is given yes. Our certificate authority is RDSCA 2019 and this is the date issued till that date. So in monitoring section, as I had said, that if we want, we can create the metrics, like we would have enabled it and then we would have seen how it monitors in the log and events. If we had chosen different logs, then we would have export that. In configuration, you can see configuration details about DB, instance class, storage and performance insight. Whatever we have configured, it is all shown. The ARN, Amazon resource name, is being available. Resource ID is available. In availability, this master username admin with which we are going to connect. Under the maintenance and backup, as we had already enabled and it was by default enabled, the auto miner version upgrade. This is maintenance window, backup, automated backup, snapshot type, and these are the tags. If we want, we can create the tags, add the tags. So this is overall our database summary. And now we are going to connect this database with its endpoint. So under the endpoint, we'll copy our endpoint, and for connection, we'll go for Microsoft MySQL Workbench. So this is what I have downloaded, MySQL Workbench, the upgraded version. So it says welcome to MySQL Workbench, and now here we are going for the connection. So when you click on add, here it will ask you a connection name. Let's say we give it RDS connection. The host name, that is our endpoint, we have copied. The parameters we need to, the port is right, and the username, as we seen, it was admin. And let's test the connection. So after clicking on test connection, we need the password. What we had entered, it was password, and say yes. So yes, successfully made the MySQL connection, and this is our information, which is SSL enabled, and user is admin, and this is our endpoint and port, and we say yes. So connecting to the RDS connection, which is successful. So we are inside RDS connection, and then under the schema section, we see demo. Demo was the one we had initialized we had given an initial name and it's created the database. So here what we'll do is we'll create a table. So under demo, we'll create a table. Here we'll name it as employee data. And then we'll apply. So I have a query overall to write over here. So let's paste this. So inside employee data. Okay. So this is what we are going to create a table for: employee name, employee age, and employee city. So we are going to create a table for employee name, age, and city. And let's create apply. So it is executing the SQL statements and it is successfully applied. So yes, the employee table apply changes to employee table is seen. And over here. So under the table section, we can see employee data is being the table created with the columns employee name, age, and city. So this was the query we had executed. So let's end the demonstration over here and we will see through which we can go for read replica. So under databases, when you select the database, you can create a read replica over here. Oops, sorry. In RDS, so as you can see in database one, so while creating a replica, first we need to select the database one and then under actions you can see create a read replica, and this is how we go for further creation of read replica. Once under read replica you have entered, there are different options, and then as per our configuration settings we can create a read replica. So it's loading. So our replica source will be database one, as we want to create it for that. Then we have to give a DB instance identifier name, and this is the destination region where you want to launch your replica. So it may vary as per your requirement. We can go for Asia, Mumbai, Pacific Mumbai, or we can go for Canada as per our requirement. And the same, the DB instance class, storage, availability and durability. We don't want it to be a multi AZ. This is the same security group, and these are the additional configuration. If we want for our replica, we can this and then we create a read replica. This is how the read replica version will work. So yes, we end the demonstration here. Thank you.